Castle Park was once again the venue for the Stephen Gallacher Foundation National Matchplay Championship. Last year's inaugural event was won by Reuben Lindsay, and the challenging 18-hole Parkland course had never looked better. This year's finalists had finished second and fourth in the qualifying rounds, so no surprise to see Jack Mann from Fortrose and Rosemarkie up against Harry Bent from Gullen. And after introductions onto the tee from Stuart, it was time to start things off on the opening hole, the first, a par 5. A little bit of risk and reward usually available here if you want to take on the water hazard, but the players hitting into a stiff breeze, both laying up, looking to hit the green in 3. Conditions fairly breezy, fairly dry, and hopefully some good golf for the spectators that had come down, friends and family. This was Harry's third shot up to the green, nicely on. Bit of a lengthy birdie opportunity, but of course you're not playing the course, you're playing your opponent. And Jack Mann, well, he'd come through the back with his approach, and this birdie attempt coming up short, not quite getting the pace of the green straight away. He would miss that putt. Harry would par, and it would be 1 up to Harry Bent as they played the second. Now his drive had found a bunker to the side of the fairway, but no problem at all for Harry. Fantastic shot onto the green. Could he go 2 up? Well, this is where Jack's approach had ended up. Again, just at the back of the green, nice aggressive stuff. And this time the birdie putt would drop. Harry had missed his birdie attempt, all square, as they head down to the 200-yard par 3 third. And you can see just how breezy it is there, with all the plants and the trees swaying in the foreground. A tricky par 3 this, a long way up from those medal tees. But some more nice iron play there from Jack, pin high. Lovely stuff, and a par 3 was good enough to see him go 1 up. Heading down the 4th, it was his turn to find the fairway bunker, but it was his turn also to find the middle of the green from the fairway bunker. Another great approach. He would get his par, which meant that Harry had this birdie putt to level things up. It just stayed out. Well, it moved right to left, but not as much as he was looking for it to do. Still 1 up, Jack Mann coming up the 5th. Well, look at this, these walls are an integral part of the course here, the front 9 of Castle Park. And Harry with a bit of a wayward drive, having to chop out sideways. Another opportunity for Jack, another birdie putt. Again, the breeze still blowing, this just staying out, but I could tell you that a par was good enough for Jack to move to 2 ahead after 5 holes. Well, the 6th was halved with pars, and it was down onto the par 3 7th. Now, I'm not sure what Jack had for breakfast, but his irons are certainly flying a little bit further than he might expect. Up the back of the green here. Now, Harry, 2 down. Fair to say really that Jack lost that first hole rather than Harry winning it, so looking to make a bit of a comeback. And what a fantastic tee shot there for the young man from Gullen, just up the road. Jack wouldn't sink his lengthy birdie putt, but Harry would. Great 2 there, and the score 1 up for Jack Mann. The 8th was halved, and it was down onto the par 5 9th. Well, a bit of improvisation there from Jack Mann, playing out the water hazard with his 3rd shot, just coming up short of the green, but that would cost him the hole in the end. And it was all square as they moved up onto the 10th, and Jack beginning to get under pressure, needing to hold this for the half, which he did. Nicely done. Harry would tap his in. Still all square after 10 holes. Well, it was not only each other the golfers were beginning to have to battle, but the rain coming down sideways Jack just off to the side of the fairway here on 11, and he's pushed that, the ball below his feet, the wind, the rain, everything pushing that ball towards that bunker. And again, that would cost him. Harry would win the 11th to go 1 up, and he had this putt on the par 3 12th to go 2 up. And all of a sudden, 2 up with 6 to play. Harry looking very good. Down onto 13, par 4. And once again, Jack having to hole out just to keep things as they are for a half. He does that. Harry still 2 ahead as they head on to 14. Now, a mistake from Jack Mann. He's been pretty solid despite being 2 down, but finding the bunker with a short approach shot and played it out nicely, it has to be said, giving himself a good chance of the par. But Harry Bent with a birdie putt to extend his lead to 3 holes with 4 to play, and turning just at the very end, but not enough. But Jack would miss his par putt up the hill, and Harry would indeed go 3 holes up with only 4 holes left to play. The sun finally came through with the wind and the rain dying down a touch. Well, it didn't help Harry too much on the short par 4 15th. This was for his par. Just missing to the left. Well, a chance to see out the final there. Almost. If that had dropped, that would have meant that Jack would have had this just to stay alive. As it is, he's got this to get it back to just 2 the difference. Held his nerve well there. Good putt. So 2 down with 3 to play. And another tricky par 3. They really do test you here on Castle Park, the par 3s. But Jack, a little bit of wind in his sails after winning 15, and look at that for a tee shot. Fantastic stuff. Well, could he stage a remarkable comeback? Harry feeling the pressure, he came up short with his tee shot. So knowing that Jack, well, at least you need to get inside your opponent in a position like this, and he's managed to do that. Forcing Jack to make the putt first. This for birdie, this to get the deficit to 1 with only 2 holes to play. Oh, and it just stayed out. Well, he pushed it up to the right, looking for a bit of borrow, but the 3 is safe, and the pressure back onto Harry, needing to hold this to stay 2 ahead, and he's done it. As they move on to the 17th, the risk and reward par 4. Well, this is where Harry ended up after 2, laying up with his drive, but Jack Mann had really went for it with his drive, cutting the corner over the trees in this 330-yard par 4 and running through the green into the bunker. So this is his second shot. Remember, he needs to win 17 and 18 to keep things going, force extra time, and he's given himself a chance with that birdie putt. Unless Harry can sink this. He's some distance away, and there is a big break on this green. But this would be good enough to take the title. Oh, and it just came up short. A little bit more juice needed, or a higher line, but the par is safe, which means that Jack Mann, well, this birdie putt has to drop or it's all over. He's played well over the last couple of holes after making that mistake. Back on 14. This to keep it going. Not to be. Well, good effort there to try and come back from Jack Mann, but the 2021 Stephen Gallacher National Matchplay Champion is Harry Bent from Gullin. And after some handshakes and congratulations from his opponent and the spectators, it was in to pick up the trophy and a voucher. And let's hear from the champion.
I thought the course was in very good condition. It was pretty tough to play, although it was really soft. You had to hit all the fairways because the rough was really thick as well. I started off better, and then he came back after 6. He was 2 up. So then I managed to bring it back after 9, and then his tee shot on 16 was pretty good. So then I had to up and down for par, which I did. It's definitely nerve-wracking. but you just have to make pars and hope he doesn't make birdies.
A great week for Harry, and well, I wonder, is this the biggest title that he's won so far?
I've done well in other stuff, but this is outstanding, this.
Congratulations again, Harry Bent, the 2021 Stephen Gallacher Foundation National Match Play Champion.